Animal kingdom, which is a very important topic. Let us discuss about the basis of classification in the animal kingdom. Millions of species have been described till now, so the classification is very important. But what has been taken means what is the basis of the classification? What are the points which they have into concern means they are cell arrangement, body symmetry, coelom nature and patterns of digestive, circulatory and reproductive systems. Coming to the cell arrangement. So we know what is a cell and what is a tissue and organ. So group of cells will forms into the tissue and group of tissues into organs and a group of organs into organ system and then into the organism. So that cell arrangement has been taken into the consideration. You can able to see this, you cannot consider it as a tissue. Why? Because there is absence of intercellular material. So this you can consider as a cellular level of organization where the cells are arranged in a loose manner. So these are loose cell aggregates. In which phylum you can able to see? In Porifera, that is sponges. Next, coming to the tissue level of organization. Here, along with the group of cells, intercellular material, if at all it is present, that we can consider it as a tissue, and this level of organization is tissue level of organization. Which phyla will comes under this? Coelenterata, otherwise called as Cnidaria, and Ctenophora. Next, coming to the group of tissues is called as an organ, which performs the specialized function, that is called as organ level of organization. Which phylum will comes under this? Platyhelminthes, the worms, that will comes under this. You can able to see the group of tissues will forms into an organ. Next, coming to the organ system level of organization. All the group of organs together with specific physiological function. For example, either digestive system or circulatory system. If you take this into the consideration, it is called as organ system level of organization with specific physiological function. Which phyla will comes under that? Annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms and chordates. So this is about the cell arrangement. Based upon that, the level of organization, cellular level, tissue level, organ system level, and the phyla I have given here. Next, coming to the body symmetry. The geometrical arrangement of the body is nothing but body symmetry. So here you can able to see asymmetrical means like plants. So plants, if you can observe, it is there won't be any specific symmetry. So if you cut anything, it won't be divided into equal halves. In any plane, if you cut also, it won't be divided. Phylum which comes under this asymmetrical is most of the sponges will comes under this asymmetrical condition. Next, coming to the radial symmetry. Equal halves in any plane through central axis of the body is called as radial symmetry. You can able to see in the textbook also. So this is the central axis. So in the central axis, if you cut it like this, or if you cut it like this, or if you cut it like this, in any plane if you cut it, that then you will get the equal halves through the central axis of the body. That symmetry is called as radial symmetry. Which phyla will comes under that? Coelenterate, ctenophores and adult echinoderms will comes under this. Larval form of echinoderms will be bilateral symmetry, but which one we will take into the consideration? We will take the adult form into the consideration while classifying an organism under the symmetry. So echinoderms adult forms will be radial symmetry. This don't get confused. Larval form of echinoderms is bilateral symmetry, whereas adult forms is radial symmetry. So this is about the symmetry, that is radial symmetry. Now moving on to the bilateral symmetry. Equal halves in only one plane. You can able to see here. This is the bilateral symmetry. If you can cut from only in one plane, you will get two equal halves. If you cut it like this, you won't get two equal halves. If you cut it like this also, you won't get two equal halves. So that type of symmetry is called as bilateral symmetry. All the phyla will comes under this except these coelenterates, ctenophores, echinoderms and the sponges. Rest of all phyla will comes under this. So this is about the body symmetry. Next, coming to the coelom nature. So what is the coelom? Coelom is nothing but the body cavity which is present if at all it is lined by mesoderm, then we will consider those organisms as coelomates, and if body cavity is lined by mesoderm, then only we will consider it as coelom. And all the animals possessing coelom will comes under the coelomates. Acoelomates means there won't be any body cavity. For example, Platyhelminthes, which is a tapeworm, for example. How the tapeworm will looks like? It will be very flat like structure. There won't be any symmetry, and also the coelom won't be present. So body cavity will be absent. Phylum is Platyhelminthes. Next, coming to the Pseudosilome. Pseudo means all of you know that it is false coelom. That means body cavity. If this is the body cavity, so this body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. What we have said, if it is lined by mesoderm, then only we will consider it as coelom. If it is not lined by mesoderm, but the mesoderm will be present as a scattered pouches between ecto and endoderm. What are these ecto, endo and mesoderm? These are nothing but the germinal layers, which we will be discussing that also. So here you have to consider what is a coelom means. If body cavity is lined by mesoderm, that is called as coelom, and all the animals which possess coelom are called as coelomates, and which does not possess coelom means body cavity absent, those are acoelomates. Platyhelminthes phylum will comes under this. Next, moving on to the pseudosilomate means mesoderm will be present but not exactly in the form of a lining, but in the scattered pouches form like this between ecto and endoderm. So this is called as pseudosilomate, where you can see in round ones, that is Helminthes phylum, you will able to see this pseudosilomate condition. Next, coming to the eucoelomate condition, means the body cavity, if this is the body cavity, it is lined by the mesoderm. This red colored one is the mesoderm, this is ecto and this is endoderm. So if body cavity is lined by mesoderm, those comes under the eucoelomates. And under eucoelomates, it is again, there are two different types. One is schizocoelomate and another one is enterocoelomate. But in NCERT, they will specify about that. So no need to worry about what is schizo and what is entero. But sometimes, if at all they ask which phyla will comes under schizo and which will comes under entero, then I have given here the phyla Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca will comes under schizo, whereas Echino and Hemichordata will comes under entero. Or you can think in such a way, the primitive ones will be having schizo and the advanced ones will be having entero. So this is about the coelom nature. Three different types of acoelomate, pseudosilomate, eucoelomate. So cell arrangement, body symmetry, coelom nature we have covered, but you have to know about what is ecto and endoderm. That means those are the germinal layers that we are going to see here. So what are germinal layers? So whenever any cell, if you can consider, if you can take this as a so whenever there is a zygote formation, if this is a zygote, so this zygote will start to develop, means it will, the cells will be dividing like this. So the cell division will occur inside, but the size of the cell will remain the same. So zygote, after zygote there will be morula, 8-cell condition, then blastula like this. So whenever this blastula formation happens, at the blastula stage there will be formation of this germinal layers. So what are those germinal layers? Ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. So you can able to see here, if at all during the blastula condition there will be the formation of ectoderm and endoderm, but mesoderm is not seen. Undifferentiated non-cellular mesoglia, if at all you see between ecto and endoderm, but not exact mesoderm, then that condition is called as diploblastic condition. This is important. What is mesoglia? Non-cellular undifferentiated layer of cells between ecto and endoderm. So that type of germinal layers, if at all it is present, it is diploblastic condition. Whereas triploblastic condition means mesoderm will be present in between the ectoderm and endoderm. So you can able to see externally it will be ectoderm, internally it will be endoderm, and the middle there will be mesoderm layer. Those type of germinal layers, if all three are present, tri means three, so it is triploblastic. If only two are present and with the non-cellular layer, that is diploblastic condition. So these are the germinal layers, and when you coming to the coelom nature, if at all the mesoderm is in scattered pouches, pseudosilome. If exact lining is there, eucoelome. And this is about the germinal layers and triploblastic condition. You can see from platyhelminthes till chordata. Whereas diploblastic only in coelenterata and ctenophora. This is about germinal layers. Now moving on to the, if you see here organ system level of organization, there are different systems which I have said that digestive system, circulatory system, like that it will be present. Now digestive system, if you can see, in some organisms there will be only one opening. For us, we can take food from the mouth and we can digestion can occur through anus, but here in some of the organisms, mouth and anus will be same, only single opening will be present. That type of digestive system is called as incomplete or blind sac digestive system. Which phyla will comes under that? Coelenterata, ctenophora, platyhelminthes. Next, coming to the two openings like us, mouth and anus will be present, entry of the food and exit of the food. So this type is, if two openings are present, it is called as complete or tube within tube digestive system. Which phyla will comes under that? Helminthes to chordata. Whereas in some organisms, the digestive system, specific system will be absent. So cell aggregate body plan. What is cell aggregate? You can able to see this is considered a cell aggregate. No specific system and no elementary canal. Only intracellular digestion will occur. Which phyla will comes under that? Porifera. So this is about the digestive system which comes under the organ system level. Next, coming to the circulatory system. Circulatory system in order to transport the fluids, all those things. In some organisms, it will be open type. That means there won't be any capillaries, arteries, veins and capillaries won't be present. Organs, all the organs will be bathed in the blood. Means if at all there won't be specific tubes like arteries and veins. Organs will be bathed in the blood. That type is called as open type. Which phyla will comes under that? Arthropoda, mollusca, echino and hemichordata. Next, coming to the closed type. In the capillaries, there will be the blood flow. Phylum is Annelida and Chordata. Cephalopoda in mollusca, it is an exception which contains the closed type. Whereas mollusca usually it contains open type, but only the class Cephalopoda will contains the closed type. So that you have to remember because it has been specified in the NCERT. And now coming to this germinal layers which we have discussed, you can able to see in the textbook how they have shown. This is the diploblastic condition where the mesoglia is present. This is ecto and endoderm. Whereas triploblastic, mesoderm is present. This I have shown over here like this. So this is about the germinal layers and also the digestive system. And moving on to the coelom nature, if you can see pseudosilomase, that and all they have specified over here. So here you can able to see it is lined by mesoderm, that's why it is called as coelomate. Whereas scattered pouches, if at all it is present, that is pseudosilomate. Whereas there is no cavity here. Here you can able to see the cavity, but here in between these two means ecto, meso and this is endoderm. So there is no cavity over here, that is acoelomate condition. The same thing I have specified over here like this. So this is about the basis of classification, which and all they have taken into the consideration, and proper notes has been given over here for you to make it easy. You can take the screenshot of this so that it will be useful for you. 1 second. So this is how you can able to take the screenshot for the sake of the notes, and the digestive system, circulatory and germinal layers I have given so that it will be easy for you. And few more points has been covered in NCERT that we are going to see. What is metagenesis? Metagenesis means alternation of generation. So if at all if you take hydra, in that polyp and medusa conditions will be there will be the generations will be changing from asexual to sexual and sexual to sexual. Genesis means formation, meta means there will be stages changing. So this term is important. Alternation of generation is called as metagenesis. And coming to the metamerism. means in earthworm, if you can observe, phylum Annelida contains earthworm. So there will be segments both externally and internally. So external and internal division of body into segments with serial repetition of the organs. At least some organs should be serially repeated. So that condition is called as metamerism, which you will be seeing in phylum Annelida. So the segment is called as somite or metamer. And next thing you have to know what is a notochord. So you know about what is mesoderm, which I have shown. So mesodermally derived structure which will be rod-like on the dorsal side whenever the embryo is developing. So during embryonic development, rod-like mesoderm structure will be developed on the dorsal side. If at all this structure is seen, and that structure is called notochord. If at all this structure is present, then we consider them as chordates, and if this notochord is absent, we consider them as non-chordates. So non-chordates from Porifera phylum till Echinodermata, all are non-chordates, whereas from Hemichordata we can't consider exactly as a notochord because later they identify that as stomochord. Okay, so chordata is a separate phylum. So this is about the basis of classification. You can able to take the screenshot of this and also this. Thank you. We will discuss about the different phyla in the next video. Thank you for watching, and please do share and subscribe. Bye.